tax authorities want to go after domestic big spenders as well. Amit? IVF clinics?
Yes.
This was discussed earlier as well. IVF clinics, any spends on IVF surgeries, processes would invite the lens of the taxman. High spends at luxury purchases, retail outlets. We are back pretty much to the same story. What's going on here?
There is the IT department has initiated investigation, of course, non-intrusive. The tax officials have been instructed, it seems, that these investigations have to be non-intrusive, on a mismatch of a 10% rise in filings. See, in these IVF clinics, any transaction above 2 lakhs has a mandatory reporting, and the PAN card has to be basically submitted.
Okay.
The suspicion in the tax department is most of these transactions, especially from NRIs,
Okay.
in these clinics and medical colleges, are in cash. So therefore, the records are not basically maintained. And that is what they're investigating. There has been a 10% rise in filings, but the revenues that have been reported do not match.
Oh, so more number of people filing returns, but the amount of returns being filed, the amount of tax being collected lower than that 10%.
Even from these institutions.
So we are talking about direct and indirect tax. There is indirect tax evasion because of cash settlement, lowered invoices being generated,
yes,
and hence no mechanism to reconcile what was the actual exchange of cash.
But good thing is, from year 2022 to 2023, 21 to 22, the filings went up 6.8%. Now they have gone up 10%. So more people are coming to these clinics and medical colleges, and most of them are NRIs. But the amount they are spending over here does not match.
But Krishna, tell me something.
There's a glitch in the matrix, Karthik.
No, but the glitches are not going to get erased, I believe, simply because what are we really alluding to here? We are saying there are cash transactions happening at IVF clinics, at medical colleges, at high street retail outlets.
Luxury resorts.
Luxury resorts. These are cash transactions. There's a mismatch because people are paying in cash. It doesn't directly reflect in their bank statements or the traces, Form 26, and hence a lower tax, direct tax outgo on account of residents, citizens filing taxes, non-residents or residents filing taxes. On the other end, because these are cash transactions, underreporting by businesses as well.
Right.
My point is fairly simple, I assume. If you were to get the taxman's lens on these transactions, the invoice generated would still be for a cash payment, an amount that at the time of transaction the buyer and the seller agree to stamp on the paper. So if there is this connivance between the availer of the service and the provider of the service to not file taxes and indirectly benefit the other party as well, you could still arrive at a lower amount on your invoice.
See, these investigations the tax department does for donkey's ears.
Yeah.
Most of them were being done in high net worth stores, premium watch companies, jewelry companies. Right now, they have targeted IVFs. Now, my suspicion is, and NRIs, IVFs relates to surrogacy. These people come to India for these purposes, and they spend in cash. Now, that is what I suspect is where they are targeting.
Yeah, I think this, I would in a sense agree with Amit, because it just goes back to the way money is spent. Money not from this country is spent in this country. So that's why you're looking at all those things that HNIs, people who earn in dollars and pounds and euros who come to India. And let's face it, say if you're an American and you're earning in dollars, you know how expensive insurance is in America. You know when you get medical insurance, you get any kind of insurance, there's good chance that your claim is going to be denied. And how expensive are doctors in America? how expensive is getting any kind of treatment in America. Great country, fantastic to go settle in, etc., etc. But as far as medical expenses are concerned, we know that Indians in America go to the Philippines to get their tooth fixed, because it's cheaper to take a flight from America to the Philippines. And Philippines as a whole, generation of dentists, who've been doing this because it makes for
That's
great
right.
business.
Turkey is the second one, and Turkey is not just famous for dentistry; it's also famous for plastic surgery. It's
Absolutely.
famous for orthopedic surgeries.
And what is India famous for? Dirt cheap medical expenses. We Indians complain about it, but it is still lesser than some of these other countries. So, and especially for Indians, this is a homecoming. At the same time, homecoming of many ways. Go to a banquet, go get your surrogacy registered, get your kid a medical college seat, if need be here in India. So, I think in the sense there is connivance, like what you're talking about, there is a lot of connivance, and there's a huge trend that's being unearthed of people bringing money that was not made within the borders of this country, bringing it over here and spending it, and not, making sure that they are accountable for all the spending that they do. So I think I don't want to get too deep into it, but from the looks of it, it looks like it's a trend that's been unearthed. The solutions will take time coming.
Got it.
The CBDT, and in this case, we're talking about indirect tax avoidance. This is incidentally initiated by CBDT, the Central Board for Direct Taxes. So
right.
we'll get to indirect taxes being evaded later, but first it's all about fixing where the direct taxes are getting evaded.
And two, we talk about investigations being initiated by the IT department. We should later on look at what is the success rate of these investigations.
Yes.
Right.
And
Of course. So all that
that
data is going to trickle in, and of course we will keep an eye on that, and more so if you have been paying high amounts of money in cash and have been receiving an invoice for the same cash amount or a lower cash amount that you have actually spent. Be careful, because the tax woman is not going to spare you.